Okay, so I like both these phones and they both have first-class Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processors. But which one has better cameras and is the price difference worth it? Let's find out. Brief overview before we get started. The Xiaomi 12 Pro we have comes in a gorgeous gray. We have a 6.73-inch Quad HD Plus AMOLED display which maxes out at 120Hz. Inside, we have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 paired with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. Keeping it alive is a 4600 mAh battery with speedy 120-watt fast charging. While the Realme GT2 Pro comes in a clean paper white. We have a 6.7-inch WQHD Plus AMOLED display and again it maxes out at 120Hz. We also have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 paired with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, but here we have a battery that is 5000 mAh and 65-watt charging. They seem more or less similar, right? So you're gonna be able to play all the latest games and enjoy the performance for years to come. But what really sets these phones apart is the cameras. First is the main cameras. The Xiaomi 12 Pro has a 50-megapixel f1.9 IMX707 with PDAF and OIS, while the Realme has a 50-megapixel f1.8 IMX766, also with PDAF and OIS. I prefer the Realme for this photo. The colors pop more on the Trooper Boy and there's also generally more sharpness and focus. Now, okay, for Realme, once again, we get more sharpness and detail on the muscles. But I like how the Xiaomi gave it a more dramatic look with the deeper, darker shadows. But these statues are known for their attention to detail, so I'll have to give this one to Realme. The helmets here look generally the same in terms of detail, but when I looked at the table, I noticed more detail with the Xiaomi, so I'm gonna give the point to Xiaomi. For this one, we get more details on the trees from Realme, but I wanted to see how it handled shooting the sky, and I was happier with how Xiaomi captured the clouds and the blue peeking out, so Xiaomi it is. And last, for the tiebreaker, both delivered great looking photos, but I did prefer the more natural look we got with Xiaomi. The red cable was just too oversaturated as well on the shot from Realme, so Xiaomi gets the point. And for the main cameras, it was a very close battle, but Xiaomi wins this one by a bit. Next up, the ultra-wide camera. Xiaomi has the 50-megapixel f2.2 ultra-wide and Realme has the same exact specs. We start off with an indoor shot, and for this, I prefer the Xiaomi, which was able to give a slightly brighter image. I'll give the point to them, but for me, it's not a huge difference here. Next, here I noticed that Xiaomi was able to deliver not only a brighter image, but one with more sharpness, which I noticed on the leaves of the trees in the middle. Now for outdoors, I noticed we get a brighter image with Realme, which does look gorgeous, but I did prefer the more natural looking overall image of Xiaomi. Colors seemed a bit bumped up with Realme, which I noticed with the pool, which looks kind of greenish blue, and the trees. Now, both phones are not slouches when it comes to their ultra-wides. You can chalk it up to style preference, but if I were to choose, I'd shoot with the Xiaomi for this one. Next is the all-important selfies. Xiaomi has a 32-megapixel selfie camera while Realme has a 16-megapixel snapper. Half the megapixels, but does it matter? Let's see. There's clearly more detail with the selfie from Realme. And for your information guys, I turned off all the beauty enhancements. So what you're seeing is the natural post-processing, and from the cap down to my pores, I saw more detail with Realme. So for the indoor selfie, I'll have to give it to them. And I guess the same goes for the outdoor shot here. Colors seem more crushed from the Xiaomi. There's more detail with my hair and more natural skin toning with the Realme shot, so that's why I picked that one. But then it'll all depend what you want that overall image to look like. For this last one, I wasn't a fan of how bumped up the green was to the point that it looked unnatural. When you take selfies, overall composition is almost just as important as the actual face. And for me, it plays a big part, so for this one, I prefer the Xiaomi picture. Overall though, Realme wins the selfie battle, and if you're a selfie person or like taking selfies with your loved ones, it's something to think about. Next up is the first mode, which is portrait mode. Now here Xiaomi has a dedicated 50 megapixel portrait camera wherein Realme uses the main camera with an algorithm. Despite standing the same distance from Ju, we have different framing and the more accurate and natural overall image of Xiaomi won me over. The same goes for image number 2, though I did make the mistake of not making sure her face was in focus, but skin toning on the Realme looked a bit green-yellowish. So yeah, the point goes to Xiaomi. And as for selfie portraits, well, you guys know how good the Realme selfie camera is. I'll give this one to them because of the hair detailing and the better overall colors. So when it comes to portraits, it'll depend on what you're shooting with. For the rear camera, Xiaomi has it made. But for selfies, I do like how Realme executed. Next is mode number 2, the all-important night shots. The Realme picture bumped up more light, but with the side effect of some colors looking a bit unnatural, kinda like the sky. You get a good amount of light with Xiaomi and with the added bonus of a better looking night sky, which overall I prefer. Now with this picture of my motorcycle, again I prefer Xiaomi because of the natural colors we got. The lights from Realme came off as bluish, which wasn't exactly accurate. It's no question for this one that both cameras can capture lots of light in the dark. What really does set these apart is accuracy, and that can be seen here, so I'm gonna be giving the point to Xiaomi. Now for this one, I do actually prefer the Realme more, because I can see more detail with the trees and the rocks, and yeah, in my opinion, it's the better photo. Now this last one is super interesting. The Realme captured the image and bumped up the lights all throughout. Clearly and obviously, it's the overall better lit image. But Xiaomi isolated the subject and bumped up the light being casted on the statue, and that gives us a very sharp image with the expense of the rest of the image being dark. But guys, remember, this is a night photo and the subject looks amazing. Now for this one, I'm gonna have to give it a tie, because different people like different types of images, and these two are just too different to compare. In the end though, Xiaomi once again takes the night shot category, thanks to the stellar color accuracy you get despite being shot in the dark. And there you have it, my camera comparison between the Xiaomi 12 Pro and the Realme GT2 Pro. Being the more expensive one at 48,999 pesos, it was no surprise why Xiaomi had better images. But with the lower price tag of 34,990 pesos, you're still getting a great set of snappers from the Realme GT2 Pro. And like I mentioned earlier, both have great top-of-the-line internals which you'll be happy with for years. I guess the question is, how important is photography to you? Are you willing to pay over 10,000 pesos for a bump in quality? Personally, I would because, it's my industry. But for more casual shooters, I'm sure you'll be more than happy with what Realme has to offer. But I am curious, let us know what you'd pick and why in the comment section below. And you can check out more reviews on our website, and please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Once again, it's Cholo Unbox, and I'll see you guys in the next one.